that we had to make the cameras much, much smaller and lighter to work on a race car.
One of the main issues that this type of movies are is that the plan was to make the real races into the film. But did you change anything depending on the results of the races?
Absolutely. We always went in with a plan of what the race, what we needed to tell our story during the race, but then events would happen during the races that would sometimes change that, and we take advantage of. So, for instance, in Hungary, the Hungary race, there was a big impact at the beginning, at the first corner of that race, the year we were shooting there. So we had a different plan for what would happen to Sonny Hayes and how he would get a puncture in that race. But once we had the impact in turn one of that race, we changed our plans so that we were able to put Sonny and Damson, or Sonny and Joshua, in the middle of that race. And you can kind of see all that contact happen around them.
Even when you go here in Mexico with the one where Checo flies onto the air, it's very good when Brad starts to race
work his way through it. We wanted to kind of blur the lines between reality and cinema. So I loved it when we were able to take a real event and work it into the film.
Yeah, and well, this movie was referred as Top Gun Maverick, but with cars. But I know that maybe the plan isn't that in that way when you are filming it. So which tools or approaches that you learned from Top Gun Maverick get you in this film?
Yeah, definitely, you kind of build on what you learn on every film and use that in the next one. So from a filming point of view, we did take that camera system that we developed with Sony on Top Gun Maverick, and we adapted it to work for a racing film, which meant that we had to make the cameras much, much smaller and lighter to work on a race car. So this is a whole new camera system that we developed with our cinematographer, Claudio Miranda. We also created moving camera mounts, so the cameras are able to move while we're filming, which was a huge innovation and took a lot of kind of technical research and testing to get that to work.
And well, talking about cameras and all this action, one of the main things that is happening right now is with, I don't know, Mission Impossible or Top Gun Maverick, that you have this very classical way to make action movies. So do you think that Brad and you could be an inspiration about this type of filmmaking?
I mean, I always like, in-camera filmmaking. And, we use digital effects, but we always start with real photography as a starting point and then use the digital effects to kind of slightly tweak it just a little bit. And hopefully we do it well enough that the audience can't tell what's real and what isn't. You're just engaged in the story and watching it. So, being able to shoot, at all these different F1 tracks, to, have Brad driving a real race car on a real track, the audience feels that. You can tell it's not faked, it's not shot, on a soundstage, but it's out there in the real world.
Talking about a little of Brad, because he's not here with us, it's very important for the movie to understand a little bit of the inspiration of the characters. So I noticed that Sonny Hayes, in some aspects, he made rituals like the car thing, and I know the finger cross when they're repairing the car. Yeah. So that was on the script, or is just an improvisation of Brad?
No, that was the idea of these superstitions was something that we knew that many race car drivers have. They have these rituals or superstitions before every race. So like the mismatched socks, we heard that story from one. Okay. The playing cards was something that our screenwriter Aaron Kruger came up with. But Brad also put his own spin on each of those aspects as he was developing the character. So it's very much a collaboration, things like that.